So the next lesson is a very simple profile that we set up quite often with shared login and with single sign-on. And this typically replaces the basic built-in email function of the copier. And it's just a very simple one-touch button called Email Myself. So here inside a Drivve image, currently we have single sign-on with Drivve Print enabled, but this is a workflow that can also work with a shared login with another application. What we're going to do is just add a very simple profile called Email Myself. And we really don't want the user to enter too much. We could add a optional file name or subject line field here and do a condition that only uses it if the user enters anything. But typically we just want to default it so that they don't feel like they have to do anything at the panel. We are going to give them some options here for file types. So I'm going to let them pick between, let's say, a searchable PDF and a Word file. The next step would be in output. We're going to enable email output. And here's where you can do one of two things. If you've set up a Microsoft Exchange server data source, you can use that. But if you've not, you can always use SMTP. SMTP works fine if you have shared login with another application. Exchange server, because that user needs to log in actually to their Exchange server account or 365 account, that works best with Drivve single sign-on because, like I said before, we can log the user directly into their 365 or Exchange account. So here I'm going to put just some basic information in here. Sender name, we can just use the variables, and we'll use the Active Directory fields, which we have access to. And I'm just going to put the user's common name. And then here in the email, we'll just put, copier at customer.com. Now, obviously, if this email was going out to other people, then we would want to put the actual user's information in there. But because this is just a one-touch button to the user, we're going to leave that. I'm going to put the SMTP information in here, and you can either use that user's logged on information for the SMTP server, or you can set one by default. I'm also going to set a default subject, let's say new scan from, and then we can do the same as we did before with all the device location and the name and whatnot. And maybe I'll put the user's common name in there. So let's take a look here at what that profile is going to look like at the panel. So here I've opened Drivve image, and because I'm using the simulator, we don't have Drivve Print, but what would have happened is the user maybe swiped their card or scanned their phone or entered their PIN code, and then when they went into Drivve image, here we're already logged in up there. So I'm going to go to Email Myself. It's a one-touch button. We just say that we want it to be a PDF, and then we can scan. And what's going to happen here is it's going to send an email directly to Bobby Hill's mailbox. It's going to have all that information in the subject. It can name the file based off those variables as well. And really what we want to do here is just make it a little easier for the users. We know who they are. We shouldn't make them browse through a list. It should just be a simple, one-touch, self-explanatory interface for them to send themselves a Word file or a searchable PDF.